Alright, so as many of you know, I am at my sister's house right now. Well, we're working on our house downstate here to get it for sale. So I'm cleaning her oven, and instead of using a oven cleaner, because I'm really spoiled at home with my wood stove, of course, is wood, so it runs hot at times, and anytime I have a mess in the oven, it's a self-cleaning temperature, okay? So it just turns to ash, and you just wipe it up and you're good to go. Of course, doing it in an electric oven, that doesn't work. She does have a self-cleaning mode on it, but she doesn't like to use it. I don't know if it's broken or what, but she asked me to go ahead and clean it. She's down visiting. She is down, actually, my sister is down with our other sister, our oldest sister, whose husband had a stroke last year after he contracted COVID-19. Oh, I said the word, but it's true. And so she's down there helping my oldest sister with some therapy for her husband, because it was a pretty debilitating stroke. He lost the ability for communication. So that point aside, I'm cleaning her oven. She asked me to do it with baking soda. She saw it online, and I use baking soda as an abrasive for when I do pots and pans. Never thought about doing it for an oven because I don't have this type of oven. But I thought, you know, if it works great for pots and pans, it should work really good for the oven. And I wanted to share that with you guys. If anybody who has that type of oven, I thought you might like to see this. All right, so I had started this before I considered videoing it. Bye. And it does. It's working just like it would on a pan that overbaked. You can see the buildup here on the window of time of baking. I think what I'm going to do, though, is take, at home I use steel wool. I even use it on my chrome on my wood stove. It doesn't scratch. I use quadruple aught. She's got some SOS pads, and we use those on her stainless steel pan. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get one and kind of work it on here and see if that doesn't help. See, they say to let this sit overnight. My thing is this: it's going to dry out. And once it dries out, it's done doing its job. So I think that just a little bit of elbow grease, and then you can avoid those toxic fumes and stuff that comes with oven cleaner. So let's see how that does. It's gotten some stuff off, obviously. Again, because baking soda is going to do that. Just like salt, you could put salt on here, acting as abrasive. You could even use a little sugar, which would be sticky, but it would work. It's the whole point of abrasion. The scouring, my mom used to, let's see, I remember growing up with Copper Glow and Comet, and those are full of chemicals, where baking soda and salt does the same thing. Now you could also make a paste of, let me turn on a light. I would think of vinegar and baking soda. Turn on her oven light. She's got a couple good spots in there, and I hate to say it, I think I did most of that. That will be the real test, and since I'm doing this now, I'll go ahead and make sure I show you closer with the camera and stuff. You see that right there? Let's see what a little steel wool, or in this case SOS pads, do. Now that's not going to scratch the glass. It's fine enough that it won't cause that problem. But mixed with the baking soda, we should get a pretty good result. Yeah, I think one of the problems is most people just want it simple, and so they put the oven cleaner on. Despite all the toxins in it, it eats the stuff away, they clean it out, and they're done. But a little elbow grease does just as good a job with no toxins. All right, so I'm going to work on this for a few, and then I'll bring the camera back. But just in case you see those baked on lines there, I want you to see them before we get them off. Okay, so it just took me like 5 minutes to scrub this door. I'm going to scrub it again. There's a few spots I missed and it was hard to see with the baking soda on it. And the most toxic thing that I had used on my hands was the detergent in the steel, or in the SOS pad, which is basically steel wool. I should have wore rubber gloves with that because I don't like anything touching my hands, but I was just got into a frame of mind. I wasn't wearing them with the baking soda, and I started thinking, well, I'll just use steel wool on it. So if you have a regular oven and you don't want to use oven cleaner, there's really no need. Let me show you again. I need to do another job on the oven door, and then we'll move on to the oven. But let me show you what we've got so far. All right, so other than needing to wash really well to get these streaks off, you can see that that glass, other than a few specks, doesn't have all that buildup. The oven door is the same way. We'll wash it. We'll get the baking soda, because those streaks are from the baking soda. We'll give it a good wash job here after we get the whole thing done. Now on the inside, we'll get these racks out of here, but you can see we're dealing with, you know, stuff like that. It'll take a little more scrubbing, but all in all, it won't be bad. Alright guys, sorry. I got a little hot scrubbing that out because it does take elbow grease, and it's really hot today, and I was inside basically a box. But it really does. It works great if you are trying to avoid chemicals and you don't have a soft cleaning oven, or you don't have a wood stove oven. It's another alternative for you. The one thing is, just a word of warning, if you want to go with this, you need to stay up on it, meaning that, you know, if you have a big spill, you probably should go ahead in the next few weeks and get it cleaned up. Don't let it build up, where I've seen some ovens and there's no way this technique would work, because it just wouldn't. In my opinion, and you can tell by the video, it needed a cleaning for sure. And if you're a perfectionist, well, nothing will ever please you. So I would just avoid this and make sure you get your self-cleaning oven. So, but I haven't had an electric oven. I haven't had a gas oven in, I don't know, well, almost a decade almost. I've lost track of time. That's how old I am. So let me show you what we got, and you can just decide for yourself. It took me maybe 20 minutes total, and that was probably more because of trying to get in. She's kind of got a tight cupboard coming down the side that's hard to reach around, and you know, the oven doors are really long. On a traditional or a modern oven, they're really long, so they're kind of hard to get beyond without putting too much pressure on it. Hang on, bud. Okay, so this is it now. I did not do the back. I could not reach the back. And in all fairness, you know, another scrub on the side if I wanted to get all of the spots off, one could say. There was a couple of small spots I could not scrub off or use the baking soda, didn't bring it off. And the only place I really used the baking soda was on the spots up here when I started. And it acts as an abrasive, so it's good, but it's not even really necessary, because it does make for
you've really got to wash it with soapy water and be more thorough to get that out, because otherwise you get this thin film, and if you're not into streaks and stuff, it'll drive you crazy. So again, just some good old-fashioned elbow grease, a little baking soda where desired, and there's still some stuff on it, but you know what, I'm not a perfectionist. I can run my hand across here and I don't feel grit. I don't feel bumps. That tells me that stuff will be easy to scrub off. So if those things bother you, like I said, this probably is not the process for you, but if you're more concerned about keeping chemicals away and still being clean, then this would work great. All right, guys, so until the next video, take care and we'll talk soon. God bless.